Hello and welcome to today's video. In this activity, we are going to combine geometry, accuracy and creativity to draw a three-dimensional hexagonal pen holder. And before beginning, you need to prepare your working area and collect all the necessary materials. Now, some of the things we need, you can see here I have a drawing paper, we have a cardboard for supporting the paper, we have a masking tape, we have pencils, an eraser, a ruler, a mathematical instrument set, a glue, we have scissors, and we have a cutting knife. Now, for the drawing stage, our most important tools are the pencil, ruler, a compass and an eraser. We are going to draw, and in the next video we are going to be making this hexagonal pen holder. So make sure you check out the next video that we post after this. Now, remember that sharp cutting tools should only be used with guidance from your teacher or maybe your parents or guardians if you are doing it from home. We will begin by preparing the compass. Now place its metal point at the 0 mark of the ruler and carefully adjust the pencil point to 5 centimeters mark, because I have decided that the hexagonal pen holder is going to be 5 centimeters. So each side is going to be 5 centimeters. So the radius of the circle that I want to draw should be 5 centimeters. Now after you make sure that you have measured your compass 5 centimeters, now next is to choose a suitable point near the upper part of the paper. This will become the center of our construction circle. Then press the sharp point of the compass firmly onto that center, then hold the top of the compass and rotate the pencil smoothly around it, just like this, so smoothly. Now this circle is only a construction guide, but it will help us to create the 6 equal sides. That's why we are beginning with a circle. Now once you are done with the circle, without changing the compass opening, place the metal anywhere on the circumference of the circle. Make a small mark where the pencil touches the circle, and then now move the compass point onto the new mark and repeat the process. Then continue stepping the compass around the circumference until you return to the starting point. By the time you are done, notice the mathematical pattern. The 5 centimeter radius fits around the circle 6 times. And this gives us 6 equally spaced points. Now these points are going to make the 6 corners or vertices of our hexagon. They will be the corners of a hexagon so that we can have 6 sides, because a hexagon is a drawing that has 6 sides, 6 equal sides. Now, next is to place the ruler carefully between 2 neighboring points and draw a straight line. Continue joining each point to the next point around the circle. Take your time and ensure that the ruler passes exactly through both marks before drawing. As the final points are connected, a regular hexagon appears. A regular hexagon has 6 equal sides and 6 equal angles. Because the compass radius was 5 centimeters, each side of this hexagon is also approximately 5 centimeters long, and geometry has now given us the top shape of our pen holder. So that is how you begin. You're beginning by coming up with that hexagon to have the top side of the pen holder. The circle has completed its job, so it can now be erased. Now use the eraser gently to move the circular outline and remove any unnecessary compass marks. Now as you rub, avoid rubbing too hard because this may damage the paper or erase parts of the hexagon. After cleaning the drawing, the 6-sided shape should remain clear and easy to see. Next, we transform the flat hexagon into a 3-dimensional object. Position the ruler vertically from one of the lower verticals of the hexagon. Then measure downwards and draw a straight line. Repeat the process from the other visible verticals. Now as you draw, remember that you should have your measurement. Every vertical line should have a specific measurement. And I chose 14 centimeters, so I'm going to measure 14 centimeters for each line. And these lines represent the upright edges, the height of the pen holder. Now keep them parallel so that the object does not appear bent or uneven. Then make sure that you check each line carefully so that the corresponding verticals are projected by the same distance. Then remember that some edges of the three-dimensional object cannot be seen directly from the front. Now in technical drawing, these hidden edges are represented using a short, evenly paced broken line. So this is what you should do. Using the ruler, project the remaining verticals downward with dashed lines. Keep the dashed lines neat and reasonably equal in length. You know, they should all be 14 centimeters long for this drawing, but you can choose your length according to your requirements. Now this line convention is important. Continuous line shows edges that are visible, while dashed lines tell the viewer that an edge is behind another surface. So at the end of the day, you are going to have some complete lines and those that are broken. And they are going to show the lines that are visible and those that are behind another surface. Now after we are done constructing the vertical lines, now we need to close the lower part of the pen holder. Now using the ruler, join the lower end points in the same sequence used for the upper hexagon. The new lower shape must correspond with the top shape. So draw the front of the side edges using continuous lines because they are visible. Then use dashed lines for the rear edges that would be hidden from view. Then check that every top vertex is connected so it is matching to the bottom vertex. You know, if I connected one point to the other point up there, on the top, that is, below here, they should also be connected. And then once you do that, we can now clearly see a hexagonal prism, which is the basic three-dimensional form of our pen holder. Remember that a good design drawing must communicate its measurements clearly. So on the right hand side, draw a thin extension line and a dimension line with arrowheads. You can draw the line anywhere on any vertical line. Then label the vertical measurements as 14 centimeters, which is for this drawing. So label it according to the centimeters that you have measured. Then show the height of the pen holder by just labeling 14 centimeters. And then next, indicate the 5 centimeters measurement for the side of the hexagon. Now place the numbers where they can be read easily without covering the main drawing. Dimension lines should be lighter than the object outlines, while the measurements should remain clear. There we have it, a completed three-dimensional drawing of a hexagonal pen holder with sides measuring 5 centimeters and a height of 14 centimeters. Before finishing, inspect the drawing, check if all the sides are straight. Maybe you can determine whether there are vertical edges that are not parallel because they should be parallel to one another. Check if there are hidden dashed lines. Check whether the measurements are clearly labeled. And once you confirm all this is included, then your drawing is correct. Check out the next video because we are going to cut all these parts and the 6 sides and then come up with a full hexagonal pen holder. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you in the next one. Bye.